Hey everyone, here is my another video and my response to David Sanford's Where Was I? Which is kind of a follow-up to Daniel Dennett's Where Was I? And my response to the TED Talk. So I like this article a lot better than Dennett, because Dennett, from my experience reading him last week, and then in Evolution, just likes to talk and just take his point and just beat it over and over again until it's just cemented in your head. But with my experience, my ADHD was just too fierce, so I couldn't even pay attention long enough to read Dennett to even understand what he was saying by the time he was done, because he just kept hammering it over and over again. Over Sanford here was very straight to the point, a lot shorter. I got the exact same, or actually got a improved understanding of what they're both talking about, but David Sanford made it more clear to me. So I kind of definitely better understand the importance of kind of what the TED Talk was talking about, how this technology could be used to kind of project our thoughts and actions onto kind of an avatar or another robot or something. So essentially, people with paralysis could overcome their paralysis by basically projecting themselves into a fully capable, movable system, which is kind of what Sanford's going at here, where the NASA scientist, had the same task of going underground to find the warhead, but now he's got, a robot suit that this plastic skin enables him to have these, all the same sensations you would have normally, except it's not really your body, so you're not going to get subjected to the radiation, but you'd be in this robot. So he still has the same question. He still asks the same question: where am I? Now, this just kind of comes full circle, and from my point of view, accomplishes absolutely nothing about the thought experiment. So he's talking about being in the robot, and he's like, well, where am I? I think I'm in this one robot, but then I realize there's two more robots, and then I can simultaneously switch between each one, and I feel like I'm in that robot even though my body's, back in Houston somewhere. Well, then we find out at the end that his body was actually underneath the suit the whole time. So then it's like, oh, so you really were where the actual robot was as well. So it's like, oh, well, maybe it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter where I was, because I actually thought I was somewhere else the whole time, and I was really right there, if that makes sense. It's kind of like he thought he was doing something, and then he was like, oh, the doctor revealed to me that I was actually not where I thought I was originally. How do you even know? You could ask, if someone was having this conundrum in real life, how would you know unless someone told you, essentially? I don't know. I guess this is just why maybe I'm not really too into philosophy, because you have these unreal situations at this time that are getting questioned and trying to be answered, or not answered, and ultimately you come full circle and realize you've accomplished not much of anything. I guess as a practical person, I sometimes just don't see it. So as far as the TED Talk goes, all that was really cool, and obviously, I liked how he thought when he just made the reference to man on the moon, and how everyone said that was impossible, that everyone says this is impossible too, and that, he's going to try and make the impossible come true. And I think it could very well happen. I think it'd be a very awesome advancement in technology. However, as far as health concerns go, if the quadriplegic or the paraplegic or whatever basically projects themselves into another being, and that's who they are, and they go through society as like a robot, because that's how they're, that's their new body essentially in society. That's how they're carrying out their new actions. Now, how would people view that? You know, how would the quadriplegic or the paraplegic realize or be affected by, society's view on them? And then physically, I mean, obviously, if you're quadriplegic, you don't really have much going on anyways, but, you still have to stay in shape and still have to maintain the basic functions. Someone's going to have to take care of you while you're off in this robot world, because, someone's going to have to take care of your home body, and you still got to exercise and pay attention to, your health and cleanliness. So, that's obviously important. And maybe that person would get so wrapped up in being in the robot that they would forget that their real body was, back home. I don't know. Things to think about. But overall, liked it. And TED Talk was good too.